Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. New stuff has finally been announced for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and as you can see, we got the new selection pack that is up and coming. We have a few other things updated, and I'm sure that this will be updated more as time goes on. But we do know the next cards to be released, and more specifically, the next archetypes and support that is going to be released for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Now, there is one thing missing, but we'll get to that. There is a chance that it will arrive, but we'll talk about that in a second. First and foremost, Therions! Therions are here, theoretically. We're getting at least Regulus, so we know that, but most likely this means that the entire Therion archetype is going to show up. Hopefully, including the field spell. It would be devastating if for some reason they just didn't give us the field spell. But I don't know why I'm setting up this terrible thing to happen. It's probably not, but honestly, yeah, the Therions were something that just needed to come for a really long time. There's things like ABC Therion that has been floating around the TCG for a really long time. We've had Therions with like basically any sort of machine strategy, any sort of plant strategy. Even the bull has been seen to play with other such warrior type strategies with Isold and stuff like that. So at the very least, it will be interesting, and there's a lot that we can do with this. It is not necessarily an archetype that you play as itself, but more so as a supplementary archetype. Similar in nature to things like Tri-Brigade being paired with the other Tri-types, whereas Therion is more so something to be paired with things like Machine, Warrior, Plant, etc. So that's pretty nice. But more specifically, with both Plant and Machine, you get an Omni Negate, I believe. No. This one, no, it's a search with the Plant. But like they both provide some very beneficial effects. Next up, we also have Libromancer. Theoretically, we should be getting all of the cards for Libromancer. The only cards that are announced are these top 5. These are all just expected ones down here to also potentially be coming to Master Duel. But notably, the Libromancer deck is centered around using main deck monsters like Fire and Geek Boy in order to go into powerful ritual monsters, and then utilizing those ritual monsters, or actually summoning those ritual monsters, I should say, with the field spell. Yes, this one, which is basically similar to like a Rhoda, while also being able to ritual summon, which is pretty cool. It's a really cool card, and another deck that just like lives and dies by its field spell, kind of. But hey, at least it's something. And honestly, the Libromancers are pretty decent in general. They're a nice, cool little archetype. I don't think that they're going to be anything crazy, but hey, I love ritual decks, and this is at least something. We also have some Heroic Challenger new cards also being released. I feel like this is more so just kind of like pushing out whatever was left for the Heroic Challenger archetype in tandem with specifically the Therion stuff because of things like Bull and the like. So just like printing more cards for them to kind of pair together. This is honestly already not shaping up to be like the most meta-defining pack, but a decent pack to go into if you want to just build an archetype. From here, you're going to get some support from other such archetypes as well, and you could potentially play them together, which is pretty cool. Next up, we also get Vendreads. Vendreads aren't really getting anything too interesting. I think it's just like, oh, it's Scavenger and Scar. These are two really good cards, all things considered, for Vendread, but they're not going to push them into any like insane status. However, I do think that giving the support is at least good. Not too excited about the fact that it is probably going to be all high rarity stuff, because why? There's no real point for Vendreads to be high rarity, but sure, I guess it makes sense. It is nice to see them, and I'm guessing we would get reprints of things like Slayer and the ritual spells, so that's very nice. But yeah, these cards are very, very good for the archetype. While they won't push them into meta contention, it is nice to see, hey, at least we're getting an on-theme ritual style pack, which is pretty cool. And then the last thing that we have is some Symphonic Warrior Rocks, which is just the like additional boss monster, similar to the Heroic Challenger card where it's just like another boss monster just kind of like pushing out the last support from this archetype, which honestly isn't really gonna do much. I don't see this really doing anything. Maybe it adds a bit more oomph to the strategy being played with pendulums or something along those lines, but in all honesty, I doubt that this will change anything. Okay, 2 things to talk about. 1, Punk. This is the thing that I mentioned at the very beginning. Dear Note is notably absent. Dear Note was a card that was introduced in the TCG very early on, allowing access to Chaos Ruler, Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon, which is a very, very solid combo. It is a 2-card combo, and with Emergency Teleport, it becomes a 1-card combo, just being able to, like, freely special someone out. Actually, no, with a single Xiaomin, it's a 1-card combo, with just a discard, so it's a 1.5-card combo, which is really cool, and it gets a lot of plays started, and can help, like, facilitate a whole bunch of different strategies, and honestly, Punks, without Halqifibrax, really haven't been doing anything, and I would love to see a revitalization of that archetype. It's not announced. Here's to hoping, but I highly doubt it. Because of the fact that a new set of support for Punks has already been released in the TCG, there is high chance that we get a pack that is more centered around Punks with all of the support later when, like, post Splight End Tier, so in, like, 2029. But, you know, I can hope, right? Maybe we get Dear Note, right? Please, Konami. But 2, the other thing that I think a lot more people are probably interested in, and what is more likely to actually happen, is that we get the Illusion Magician for Dark Magicians, which gives massive consistency to seeing Magician Souls in particular, and adds a lot more consistency to strategies that want to utilize Magician Souls, like Spiral and other type of decks. The reason I say this is because it's a ritual deck, or a ritual pack, so there is high chance that we also get some other ritual style support, that being Illusion Magician. Now, why they wouldn't announce that as one of the cards would be very surprising. So there's a chance that that happens and we do get that card, but there's also a chance that that just doesn't happen and they're still going to save that for another pack. I don't really know what else they would fill the rest of this pack up with, especially in the UR slots, unless it's, again, a lot of just, like, random Therion cards that are all URs, like they have done with the past couple of sets, where it's just like everything from the archetype is UR, which would be sad but understandable at this point with Konami. So there's that. However, all in all, this is a fine set. It's still missing a lot, and it's still such a slow release that it's still hard to get invested into any of these cards. Like, this really looks like we're gonna release Therion and a bunch of pack filler. Like, not to diss on Libromancer or the new Vendread support, but it genuinely isn't, like, the full archetype. Like, Libromancer at the very least is getting a lot of its stuff, if not all of its stuff. But Vendread is support, just additional support. Symphonic is additional support. Heroic Champion is additional support for things that just aren't going to do anything to the meta. If anything, it'll just make the meta more diverse, which isn't a good thing. So it's something. Save your gems. Unless you really, really want your Therions and you have, like, a specific strategy that you know is going to be boosted by these Therions, like ABC, or maybe some of the other plant style strategies like Rika, which that's another thing that's not here. Rika Princess isn't on here, which, you know, maybe it is because it's just going to be thrown in as, like, additional support because of the fact that it's plants, but I highly doubt that. Kind of sucks. Like, we're seriously missing a lot of really good stuff. Anyway, there's also some new cards, or I should say a recollection of stories announced, which I believe to be probably something to do with, like, solo mode, and we're basically getting additional cards added in to completed archetypes from the solo mode so that you can more easily build the deck. That's my guess, because I know Sun Saga isn't in the Shiranui deck that you get from solo mode. I don't think you get a deck for Demise, so maybe they're giving you Demise. I don't know if you get this. I don't know if you get this. I don't know if you get this. So the one that I can say is, like, at the very least, we may get Sun Saga for our archetype, or for like the Shiranui, for completing the Shiranui solo mode, maybe. Just like a gift, you get a Sun Saga, or maybe 2 or something like that. So that's the best that I can say about that. All in all, the pack looks pretty mid. Honestly, the last couple of packs have been so underwhelming. And yeah, that's basically all that I have. Libromancer is cool. I'm excited for that. Therions are nice. I'm excited for that. I wish that there was more, and I wish that we were getting just more cards released just in general. But it's fine, I guess. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy it. If you did, I like us very much, so appreciate it. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.